You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
What a beautiful day for horses in the morning.
You are listening to the #1 horse podcast in the world. Here is your entertaining look at the horse world and the people in it.
Well, good Friday morning, everybody. I am Glenn DeGeek in Ocala, Florida.
And I'm Jamie Jennings in Norman, Oklahoma. You're listening to Horses in the Morning on the Horse Radio Network for Friday, July 25th, episode 3740, brought to you today by Kentucky Performance Products. Good morning, horse people.
It's Friday, and another weekend of riding is a few short hours away. Jamie and Glenn are here to help you make it through the day with some fun guests and some really bad ads. Enjoy the show.
That's right. It is Friday, and I just saw an article about the weather this weekend, everybody. If you live on the East Coast, they're expecting like 20 states to break heat records this weekend. So,
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there we go. The real feels are going to be 110 plus, and we're supposed to hit 100 here on Sunday. So there we go.
Well,
yeah.
My first world problem is that I am in the air conditioning and I'm freezing to death. Why? Because I've been working outside all morning and I sweat so much because it's so freaking hot early in the morning that I'm drenched. And then I come in here to do this and I'm like, oh my God, I'm freezing to death because my sports bra is soaked from all the sweat from working the horses.
That's a first world problem right there.
I'm so cold in my air conditioning.
Hey, I got to tell you, I'm watching Jennifer ride outside my window. And she's doing the gait, whatever gait James does. We don't know exactly what it's called. But it does look smooth. I got to tell you, it really does.
Is she drinking wine?
Well, today we're going to start a first in our series on other pets on the farm beside horses. We all have other pets. And Chris Krimitsos is going to join us and give us the scoop on getting your first parrot. We're going to talk birds today, what to look for and what to keep in mind when you're getting your first parrot. And it's so much fun to have Chris on anyway, so we're going to have him back to do that. Plus, Jamie rescues the neighborhood. She has that story to tell right after Daily Whinnies, and some really bad ads. Peri-outs. Have you heard of peri-outs?
Is that like perimenopause?
No, a little different.
Okay.
So Peri-outs is 71 years old. And why is Peri-outs in the news? Because Peri-outs is still an active jockey. He just brought his career total wins to 7,500 wins.
Wow.
This jockey has ridden 53,500 races, placing him shy of the all-time record for career starts. So there's only one person ahead of him for the all-time record. He is only one of 5 jockeys ever to hit 7,500 victories, and he's still riding at 71.
Wow.
I just can't even imagine that. I can't even think about how he does that. Now, he did say that he's getting pickier about the horses he rides. Well, no kidding.
I would imagine.
I mean, I hope that, just everybody just hopes to be riding when they're 71, let alone riding racehorses.
I'd like to be alive at 71, so I'm lowering the bar. Yeah, that's great. So I saw in this article that you posted that he ranks 5th all time in North America for total wins. And I was like, well, who are the other ones? Okay, we've got Russell Bays, Lafitte Pinkai, who rode Sham against Secretariat, Billy Shoemaker, and Pat Day. Oh my God, like he's up with all the names.
He rides at Belterra Park in Cincinnati, who we went there once, I think, when we lived in Lexington. So that's where he rides. And this year on his mounts, he has a 28% win rate, which apparently is pretty good for a jockey.
That's really good.
Yeah. So there you go. He says he's going to keep riding as long as he can. Try and go for that record, I guess.
You go, guy.
All right, let's do some Daily Whinnies. We We have 3 auditors with birthdays this weekend: Shannon Brooks, Nicole Gregory Smith, and Delia Allen. Happy birthday to all of you. We have a brand new auditor, Jamie. This is every day this week, a brand new auditor. Lucy Esposito. Welcome, Lucy. If you haven't joined the auditor page, you definitely need to do that. Just search for HRN Auditors on Facebook.
And don't forget, if Glenn mispronounces your name, it's a badge of honor. Go ahead.
I think I got Esposito right.
Yeah, I'm not sure Gregory. It was
Gregory. I think that's how she says it, actually.
Maybe. Okay.
I think she's corrected me before, is why I remember that.
Oh.
It could be Greg. I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I would like to give my current daily Whinnie to me. Okay.
What?
To me.
I don't think that's allowed. We've never done that before.
Freaking deserve a medal. I deserve a medal, Glenn. A medal. And I told the officers involved that I also deserved said medal.
You got pulled over?
I'm going to paint you a picture. Okay. So
Right.
I got a phone call after the show Wednesday, probably around 1:00 in the afternoon. So we're talking 1 billion degrees outside. It was 1 billion degrees outside. I mean, like, they were frying eggs on sidewalks. And I get this message, I get a phone call, and somebody's like, hey, there's a horse out on 72nd and it's heading to the freeway. Oh, wait, there's 3 horses out. And I was like, oh my God. So I look outside and I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I count all mine are all there. I was like, okay, but this is not like a horse guy, but he lives down the street and he just called me because he knew I had horses. And so I was like, all right, man.
You're the only horse person he knew.
Yeah. So I get all dressed and I start to go outside and I see at the end of my driveway that apparently they've now headed directly to my farm because I see police cars and I see animal control cars. And we ended up having, let's see, I wrote it down. 5 police cars, 4 animal control trucks. Like, that's going to do something. What, you know, put them in the little box for the dog? 8 other random cars and trucks of innocent, just people driving by have stopped. There are 12 people standing on the road in front of my house. And so I'm like, okay, so I run right to the barn and grab a bucket. I've got some alfalfa, put some alfalfa pellets in because they're kind of chunky. And I grab 3 halters. And I go running out. And at this point...
Wait a minute, I got to stop you there. Listen to what you just said. You are so in tune to always looking out for the health of the horse that you're catching random horses on the road and you were worried about them getting fat when you're feeding them grain to catch them.
No. I was not. I was getting the alfalfa pellets because I could shake them in a bucket.
I know. Just
and they
busting
would
your
come
chops
to
the
me.
way it came across. It's like...
No. I wasn't worried about the fat. I was just trying to get some noise, like some girth on these pellets, to shake them. So I go running out and Chad is driving me on the Ranger. So we go peeling out of the gate. And the horses at this point, because all the cars and all the commotion have now turned and are starting to run the other way. And I see this lady like standing in the road and I'm like, hey, are those your horses? And she just looks at me blankly. Are those your horses? Are the caballos?
Oh, no.
And she's like, yes. And I was like, okay, so now I know whose horses they are. So they start, and by the way, not to be whatever, this is not the first time that it has been with this same family.
Yeah, it's always
loose
that way.
animals.
Yeah.
So the
There's
horses
always one
go
in the
running
neighborhood.
down. Yeah, and 2 of the horses run the half-mile down, and I see them duck into her property. And I'm in a truck at this point, and so we go, and we close the gate. And I'm like, are these your and the guy who was with me, Tyler, he's like, are those your horse? Is that your house? Should we close the gate? And she's staring blankly. And I was like, are they, should we close the gate? Is that your house? Did they just run home? Mind you, there's still one on the loose. Okay. And she was like, just staring at me. And I was like, Tyler. And I said, close the door in Spanish, right? So I was like, cierra la puerta. And so I said, close the door. That's all I knew how to say. So he closes the door and the woman turns and looks at me and goes, yeah, this is our house. Well, you can close it.
In
I
English.
was like, did I activate your English by saying stupid words in Spanish? Anyway, there's 2 horses that have run in. We've got the gate closed, but we got to catch the other one, which now has turned tail and run completely up the hill again. So I'm back again. Tyler, drive me up there so we get to the top of the hill. Now, backstory. I have neighbors that live next door to me. And they're the worst. They hate us. They hate everybody. They hate everything. They're the worst.
Oh, and they especially
humans.
hate the horses, I bet.
Well, they hate the horses. They hate the animals. They hate everything. Well, what happens?
Oh, no.
Said pony runs through their fence. Now, at this point, this pony has... I've been watching this pony because it's in the like complete freak out panic mode. And the pony ran face first into a stop sign, bent the stop sign, ran into across the street some barbed wire fence, and it like lacerated its chest. Okay, so there's like blood pouring out of this pony's chest. It has like face laceration from running into the stop sign, and then it turns and runs through their fence, which is like it gets through. It's so freaked out, and it runs through their fence. And I'm like, oh my God. So now it's in their yard. And these people are the worst, like super hateful. So I go into the back, and mind you, there's 15 freaking people and cops and animal control officers, and nobody's doing anything except for the idiot with the halter and the bucket of grain who's running around like a freaking head cut off. So I go into the backyard and I'm like, this is not good, because behind that property is barbed wire, and then it goes into the back of my pasture. And I'm like, oh my God, this pony's going to run around my 20 acres. I got to catch this pony before it like runs through fencing again. So I go back there and I'm like, easy pony. And the jerk neighbor comes out and he's like, and he is so mad that there's a horse in his yard, like furious. Again, there's 20 cops here. Go take it up with them. But I'm out there and it's me and him, and he's trying to chase it, which of course is a terrible idea. And I see this pony running and I was like, just stop. Let me get it. He goes, just rope it. And I was like, and again, pony's freaking out. He was like, just throw it. And he cussed considerably during this, just effing rope it, just do. And I was like, do you know how to rope? He's like, how hard can it be? Just throw a rope over its head. Mind you, lots of expletives and the whole thing. And I was like, well, I don't have one of those, nor am I qualified to use it. If you have one, go for it. And he's like, bah, bah, bah. He goes, fine, I'm going in the house. I'm going to get a gun and shoot the thing and all this. And I'm like, oh God, because he would. And I mean, there's police there, and there's animal control there. There are children out there. There's random. And I'm like, this guy's going to shoot this pony. He's going to shoot this pony. So this has been going on for half an hour. And at this point, I start to realize this pony's blind, like 100% completely blind.
Oh, it doesn't know where it's going. Oh, well, that makes sense why he's running into everything, huh?
Yes. And it's like, I don't know what the diagnosis would be, but like hydroencephalitis, and the eyes were like bulging out of the head. And I'm like, this thing is completely blind. How am I going to catch this pony with I'm on like an acre and a half by myself, fenced in. Nobody's doing anything except for me and the guy who's going to go get the gun. So I am freaking out. I'm like, okay. And I was like, pony, I really need you to come to me, because like, this is not going to end well for you. Like, this is terrible. And then, so I get to where I've kind of like, it's run into every fence. So it's realized that there are fences around it. I pull every Monty Roberts trick that I have in the book to catch a wild horse. Okay. And what I ended up having to do is take the full bucket and I finally got close enough to put the bucket under its nose, and it was like, oh, food, even though it's like drenched in blood and sweat and everything. It was the worst. And I get the darn pony, the face in the bucket, and I slide the rope over, and I mean, I am just magically catching this pony. Like, there's no, like, I realize this is why I said I deserve an award, because there's nobody else on the planet who would have been able to catch this pony. So especially not the animal control officers and cops and people, and you guys, I'm not kidding you. This was a scene. And I mean, at this point, it's 110 degrees outside with the humidity, and I'm drenched. I'm sweating. The pony's bleeding. The pony's drenched in sweat. I get the halter over, and of course, my halter is for a horse, and this is a pony, and it's like 9 sizes too big. So I'm like, okay, I've got to like put the rope around its neck and the halter, and I've got all this, and I lead the horse up out of their yard with its face in a bucket, and I'm like, stop, and I'd like let it breathe, and I put the bucket back up and walk it forward again. And this lady who sometimes speak English, she's like, I take. And I was like, I looked at the officer and I was like, first of all, there is a 0% chance that this lady's getting this pony home in one piece. Like, cause she has to walk half a mile down the street with this pony. And he's like, okay, I'll go with her. Now, mind you, while I'm leading the pony, I've been like testing it to see if it's visual, completely blind. And I was like, this pony is blind. The halter is 4 sizes too big. She's in flip-flops. It's 1 billion degrees out here. The pony's bleeding from all these lacerations. And I was like, officer, he goes, I'll handle it. And I was like, will you? Like, I don't think anybody's been handling anything, okay? Like, this is a disaster. This is the 9,000th time animals have gotten out, which they're a revolving door of animals and creatures. And I was like, I just need you to know that this is a very common occurrence with these people. He goes, oh, I know. I've been here multiple times. And there are other animal control officers. So basically what they do is they get a truck and they drive in front of the lady leading the pony. And then there's 2 officers on the sides walking on each side of her. And then they've got trucks following. And so they get the pony home. Now, mind you, the pony's wearing my halter, which is leather, and it says Flower Farm on a nice brass nameplate. And I'm like, I'll be damned if I'm not getting that halter back. So I'm like, chat. He's like, we got to go get the halter. So we drive down. And at this point, they've got the pony walking into the yard. What does she do? She ties it up to a tree.
Of course.
On like at the end of the rope. Okay. So blind pony, bleeding, sweating, feral, tied to a tree. And this pony was as feral as they get. And poor bless its heart. So I'm like, we have a problem.
Probably
like, that's mine.
50 years old too.
Yeah. And no. This was like a 2-year-old.
Oh,
so
really?
completely feral. Like it was terrible. And I told them, I was like, officers, this pony is blind and wounded, and it has a very serious problem in its head. I was like, this pony needs to be euthanized. Like yesterday, this pony needs to be put down. It was so, and living in these people's place. Anyway, so they've got the dang pony tied to the tree, which it's tied up at the end of the line. So there's an 8-foot rope loose tied to this tree, the halter that's 4 sizes too big, and the pony is darting back and forth trying to escape this noose that has been put around. And I was like, officer, I'm going to come get my halter and we're going to just let the pony go. And he was like, I'll bring it back to you. And I was like, it's going to break my halter, and I guarantee you nobody's going to pay for it. So I'm like, that's it. So this officer and I walk up and I'm like, the front gate's closed. I walked up and I took the halter off and I was like, bye, good luck. And so I come back out and I'm walking out with my halter in tow. There's 400 police officers and animal control officers. And I walked up to the one sitting in the car, the woman, and I just walked up to her and I was like, hi, I deserve a medal. Y'all need to write this down. Like, what I just did was amazing. And the chat's like, just get in the Ranger. It's fine. Just let's go. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Mind you, I still have a bucket and 3 halters and a lead rope, and I'm covered in sweat and blood, and it's a disaster. But the pony returned home. Hopefully the officers handled it, because there has to be some major fines. And again,
there won't be. Nothing is going to happen.
They've been there. So this is the same people that had the cows get loose, and I had to trap them in my neighbor's yard.
There's always one in the neighborhood where the dogs are getting out every day, or there's always one.
Well, I hope you didn't mind my long ass story, but I'm still sore because I was running like a dang cutting horse.
I know you so well. I can picture the whole scene in my head.
And my neighbors, the jerk faces who was going to go in and shoot the pony, they're out there and they're mad about their gate being run over.
Did they? Whatever. They probably thought it was your horse too, didn't they?
The first thing I said when I walked in, I go, "It's not mine. It's not mine. It's not mine."
I have fence.
And so, yeah. And so I go in and they're so angry. And so at the end, after everything is done, and the pony has been returned home, and I have saved the day, which, by the way, the pony took the biggest dump in their yard, and it made me so happy. But they're standing there at their gate. And so we drive up to them because we keep trying. Chad's like, we got to kill them with kindness. And I'm like, I'm over killing anybody with kindness. I just want them dead. So we drive up to them, and they're both standing in the front. No, the police have just left, and they're standing there. And we drive up our Ranger, and we're going to say something to them. They turn their back to us, both of us together, and pretend we're not there. And I was like, are you freaking kidding? It was ridiculous. I've just, and then to be such a hero and then be treated like that was just not fair. Like, again, I'll never get a medal because there's all those officers who did nothing. You know, I did it.
You see these people, and I occasionally see it on Facebook, some of my Facebook friends, where they're having they live on a street and they're having block parties and everybody seems to get along. I've never had a neighborhood like that.
Where is that? I love my neighbors on the other side. I trapped
but there's always that one neighbor
time.
like those people. There's like the ones we had that stole our cows. You know, they were our neighbor. They did our farming and our hay and stuff, and they still stole our cows.
I've never heard that story.
I mean, there's always that one. No matter where you live. Look at Mary. She lives in the middle, Mary Kitzmill lives in the middle of nowhere, Texas, and her neighbors are a nightmare.
Really?
You know, it's just, it doesn't matter where you live.
You know what? If you don't have that one in your neighborhood,
you're the one.
You're the one.
I will say that so far we're pretty good here. So maybe we're it. I don't know.
Yeah, you're it.
We're pretty good here so far.
They call Jen Karen.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, here comes the Karen on her weird gated horse. We don't even know what the hell that horse is doing.
She doesn't either. So. By the way, that was fantastically told. By the way, you deserve an Emmy for telling it, if nothing else.
I'll wait for my awards to come in. But I seriously, I need to be on the front page of the paper. There was no news crews, there's no paper reporters, nothing. And
I'm sure you're going to make the Norman farming news anytime now.
Sure, any minute. I was like, Chad, please, how many pictures did you get? What?
Of course.
You had to at least get a picture of me running around and trying to catch this pony.
Chad never got off the gator, did he?
Not one person took a picture.
And he never got off the gator, did he?
No, of course not. Well, he was standing around talking to the cops. While they'll watch me run around like a dang idiot, shaking a bucket full of alfalfa pellets, trying not to get shot by my neighbors. Oh. I need a break.
You've had trouble with that neighbor since the day you built the place.
Oh God. Remember, these are the neighbors who we built our barn, 50 yards from their house, and apparently it's too close, and God forbid, they're the worst. Yeah, they're the worst. I've driven by and they're looking at my house through binoculars, and I was like, honk, honk, hi. So no, it's terrible. They're terrible. It's horrible. But yeah, that was my week. And by the way, again, I'm still sore, and I was really grateful to still have pain meds from my shoulder surgery because I couldn't walk yesterday because I'm like, I got shin splints.
You put in your 10,000 steps in a half an hour.
Yes, I am out of shape. I will tell you.
It's amazing that the lady that owned a horse wasn't helping you.
Oh, she kept saying, it's my son's horse. He's coming. And I was like, I know him, and he's not there. Yeah. She was like, it's my grandkid's pony. And I'm like, this is definitely not your grandkid's pony. I was like, you're full of it. Like, this is a blind, feral creature that is living in your house. Like, just disaster. Just disaster. And I don't know what happened to the pony, and I can't find out, but whatever, it's over.
Let it out of your mind.
I'm sure it'll never happen again.
Until the next time it comes in front of your house.
I told Tyler, I was like, you see a pony out on the road, only call me if it's under 75 degrees outside.
That's right.
Because I almost died.
It's completely broke with a halter on.
Call me if it's mine. That's it.
Yeah, that's right. I've told the story on here about us helping the Humane Society rescue horses in the neighboring county the one time. I got kicked in the groin and they ended up arresting the dude. So there you go. We didn't have much luck with that either.
Somebody would have gone to jail if I had not caught that pony.
Is your horse showing signs of metabolic dysregulation, weight gain, unhealthy insulin levels like my pony?
Just give it to my neighbor. They'll take care of that.
That can lead to unsoundness, issues with structural integrity of the hoof. Insulin-wise, which we do feed the scooter, has been research proven to support a decrease in insulin dysregulation. A blend of polyphenols and amino acids. Yeah, and amino acids, insulin-wise, helps maintain normal metabolic function and healthy insulin levels, support a healthy body weight and normal fat distribution, and sustain normal structural integrity for the hoof. And I tell you what, this stuff really does work. We've seen a difference in Scooter. We've been feeding it now for 2 months.
I would like normal fat distribution on me. Maybe I should take it too.
And it really does work. We're using this. We're on our third bucket now of insulin-wise. So it's available through veterinarians. It's right for your horse. Speak with your vet. Visit kppusa.com. Most vets now deal with KPP products. So you want to talk to your vet about it. If they don't carry it, please ask them to get it. kppusa.com. Well, we all have horses, but we also have other animals, dogs, cats, chickens, goats, bunnies, and some of you have birds too. And I thought it'd be fun to start a series that highlights the other animals we have on the farm, focusing on first-time owners of the other pets in our lives. And today we're starting with a longtime friend of the show. You've heard him on here before, Chris Krimitsos. He was the founder of Podfest and the first podcaster I met in Florida after we moved here. But his biggest passion is birds. Today, we're going to learn the ins and outs of getting your first bird, and we're focusing today on parrots. Hey, Chris.
Hey, thanks for having me. So I guess I'm getting reintroduced today. It's Chris from Parrot Baby.
Parrot Baby. That's right. No more Podfest.
Well, no, we still do Podfest, but this is kind of like, I'm sure the people in the horse world, this is my passion, is the birds.
Well, where did that come from?
When I was 13, my buddy had a cockatiel, and my mom would not let me have one for like a year. And I think when your brain is forming and you can't have something, then I read every piece of literature. I subscribed to Bird Talk magazine and became obsessed. So then I got a cockatiel, and from there it just I was off to the races.
Does that sound familiar,
yeah,
Jamie?
Basically, you got it out of spite. That's fantastic.
A lot of people listening right now got their first horse out of spite. So
I got my kid a trampoline because my dad would never let me have a trampoline. And what does he do? He comes over and he goes, "Nice trampoline." And I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me? I did this to spite you." Hello.
Exactly. Yeah. So basically, and so because of that, not being able to have one, I did so much research, got so obsessed. And, your brain is developing. I've always been, I just love parrots. So in the bird world, there's people that are into softbills. Those are the birds that are not parrots. And then the parrots are called hookbills. So parrots are the ones that many people have as pets. And that's kind of my area of specialty.
We were talking the other day, Chris and I were on the phone, and I didn't realize what a huge business this is.
It can be. It's kind of like the movie business. If you've ever heard anyone say, I don't know if the horse business is similar. If you want to make $1 million, just start with 2. It's a lot of passion and a lot of things, but it can be a business that sustains you within the hobby because there's so few breeders of pet parrots and the demand is so high that it's not unusual for, let's say, an African gray, which a lot of people know, that's the best talking parrot with the red tail. They go anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000 in the U.S.
Wow. Okay, didn't realize that. So, where you moved to a new farm there in Tampa? How long ago? Was it a year or two?
Yeah, it's about a year ago now. We moved and got some acreage, and we got a stream. And I have no neighbors, which so we're protected by, preserved land. And
it's one of the only
forests.
places in Tampa, Jamie, that's like that. It's like the last refuge in Tampa.
Yeah, we got very fortunate. So that allows us to breed the parrots because the noise is like I have macaws, the noise is very loud.
Well, and you, Jamie, what's the first thing that people do? What's the first thing that we did when we moved to our farm? We built a barn. First thing you did was build your parrot house, right?
Yeah, I think it was within 4 days of moving in, the barn was up. They put these pole barns up for those that have. I mean, I know I'm preaching to the choir, but they did it in a day and a half. It was incredible.
Now, how many birds do you have?
I don't know the official count.
Do you know how many horse people we've asked how many horses they have, and they didn't know the official count?
Yeah, I'd have to sit there and count, but it's got to be give or take 100, plus or minus 10 from that number.
Really? I didn't know it was that many.
It might be more. I don't really know. Yeah, the barn, we have tons of pairs of birds and all kinds of stuff.
So we want to focus in this series on, we're getting our first parrot, okay? So somebody's getting their first parrot.
Not you, though.
Not me yet.
You'll get in trouble.
Although
Go ahead.
Chris will probably arrange that at some point. So what do we look for? What do you tell people when they're getting their first one? What are the instructions?
Well, the first thing is, I would say noise level is probably the first thing you need to consider. How much noise can you take? Because the bigger parrots are noisier. There's even small parrots that are extremely noisy. And then there's birds that are not as noisy. So for instance, I'm sure horse people love horses, so they don't care about certain things. If you're like a true bird person, the noise for the most part doesn't bother you. But if you're a first timer and you have not been around the noise, it will impact you. So if you want to get started, a cockatiel is usually a great starter bird. A lot of people know they're really affectionate. They're small. If you want something a little bit more exotic, a green cheek conure, a dusky conure. Once you get to the sun conures, those are the ones that are pure orange. Like Logan Paul, the famous YouTuber, has a sun conure and it's his mascot, Maverick. Those are really loud. So like you got to be okay with the noise. Like my wife is a podcaster. She gets very upset at our sun conure if it just starts yapping at the mouth. So at the beak. So you just got to also factor in the noise level of what you can take. And then diet is a big debate in the bird world. So if you're going to be making a fresh diet or you're going to give the bird a pellet or seed diet, those are kind of the things you want to factor. The caging is not that bad. Cages aren't that bad. And then a lot of bird people now will have cages with play areas. So they'll leave the cage open. The bird, for the most part, will stay on or around its cage when you're not home. And a lot of people will leave the doors open, let the bird play in the cage or on top of the cage.
I think one of the big differences from a dog and a cat, though, is this bird's going to outlive you for the most part.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, for those that don't know, so longevity is a question that I get asked all the time. How long do birds live? If you have a bird that was given like a really healthy diet, it's not unusual for them to exceed 30 to 60 years. Like that's a range. Like the small birds even live 25 to 30 now. So the big birds could live up to 60 years. So you just have to have a plan in place when you do buy your bird of what happens to it when you're no longer around.
When you buy the farm.
Yeah, I will tell you, people give their birds table scraps, and that's probably the worst thing they could do. So there are a lot of birds that die of strokes and heart disease at 20 or 30 years old, and that's because they're eating the owner's French fries every day.
So we know what it's like to care for a horse, and it's a full-time job. What's it like to care for a bird? What has to be done for like maintenance and?
Well, first thing in the morning, you want to make sure you get fresh food and water. And then the other thing you want to do is play with your bird, give it some attention. Some birds, like I'll give you the birds that need the most attention are cockatoos. That's the Beretta bird or the big white birds.
Yeah.
I don't recommend that kind of bird for a first-time bird owner because they need the most amount of attention. And when they don't get it, it breaks their heart. So they get really attached. So a typical bird like an Amazon parrot or a conure, which is a smaller parrot, if you play with them once or twice a day here and there, and they're in your space, they're pretty happy. You don't have to take your bird out for a walk. You know what I mean? So they're pretty easy to care for in my opinion.
Can you let them fly around the house, and is there bird poop everywhere?
So I'm sure that you guys have things that are very controversial in the horse world. Trimming a bird's wings is one of the most controversial topics in the bird world. So I'll give you the two schools of thought. Some people will trim the flight feathers. They grow back. I want to be very clear. So that way the bird cannot fly all over the house and it stays in its cage area. Other people allow their bird to free fly in the house. The challenge with the free flying is, you mentioned the first one, they're going to leave care packages all over the house when you're not around. But for me, the bigger challenge with that is birds, when they're learning to fly, especially, and they haven't learned how to put the brakes on, will fly into walls and break their neck. So I am a proponent, unless you're doing training, to really, do a light trimming of the wings. So that way your bird doesn't have an accident and then your family's devastated.
And it's only certain feathers that you're trimming, right?
It's the flight feathers,
Yeah.
But like I said, it's become very controversial. They do grow back. So you're not trimming anything. That's why I say trimming. It's called clipping, but you're not really clipping anything permanently. You're trimming the flight feathers, and they grow back within a cycle.
So how do they get along with dogs and cats? Or how do dogs and cats get along with them?
Yeah, I would say that would be the right for the second. It all depends on your dog and cat, but you always have to be very careful, because I'll give you an example. I just talked to a lady yesterday that's going to be getting a bird from us. And I said, well, what happened to your bird? She goes, well, my bird flew off and my dog wanted to help the bird back, put it in its mouth and broke its neck. So the dog was looking to help, but in that process, so that happens.
Jamie's not believing
it's
it.
not even a dog that has malice. It's just a dog trying to help. And the birds are so delicate. Accidents like that happen quite
Hold
a bit.
on. Let me did you buy that? Like, the dog wanted to help get the bird back?
That's the story I was told. So that's what I'm going to go with.
Okay.
But yeah, so I don't know, who knows, but that does happen a lot. And then you'll see on TikTok and social media, there's a lot of people that have birds that will, there's a lot of times that they all get along, but you never know.
Figuring that out in the first place is where the accidents happen. Or are they going to get along?
I think so. When you have older dogs and stuff, they'll just let the birds hang on top of them because they've given up on doing anything. But when you have a lot of animals together, anything could happen.
So I assume it's like any other animal. They have personalities and they're all different. When somebody's looking, first of all, where do you go? Let's say parrots. Let's stick with that. If I want a parrot, where do I go to find one, and how do I know I'm dealing with reputable people?
Okay, there's more scams in the bird world than any other exotic trade. Don't know why, but there are. So how do you find reputable people? There's a website called birdbreeder.com. and then Birds Now. That being said, scammers still get through and post on those two sites. But for the most part, 90% of the people are U.S. bird breeders or stores or people have birds. So the first thing I would do is get someone on the phone. I talked to a young lady in L.A. and she wanted to buy an African gray. And I said to her, what happened? She goes, oh, I got scammed. And I said, did you ever bother calling the person? She goes, no, it was all in direct messages. And she just sent money. So a lot of people do. There's a younger generation that doesn't talk on the phone anymore. Like, they don't see a need for it. The problem is that's where the scammers really do well.
That sounds very familiar to horse people too.
Does it? Okay, so
yeah.
Yes. So you'll send a deposit. You'll never see the bird. Oh, we're going to ship it. We need more money. So a lot of people have the concept like they're going to buy online, the bird's going to show up at their doorstep, but like it doesn't work that way. So I would say, one, if the price is too low, and what I'll tell people, if you're not sure you're dealing with the scammer, let's say you want an African gray. Those birds go, like I said, for anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000. If you're not sure the person's a scammer, just tell them, you know what? I changed my mind. I'd like to have 5 of those birds. And if they could produce 5 overnight, run. So that, because birds don't, they produce in clutches of 2s and 3s, and very few or any breeders would say, oh yeah, I'll just sell you 5. They're going to be like, why do you want 5? Get people on the phone, have a signed contract. Don't give money till there's a signed, some kind of signed agreement. Then you could give a deposit. Make sure their state licenses, like I'm FWC Class 3 license in the state of Florida. And now there's also USDA licensing coming through because of all the scams and stuff. So it's just, it's a crazy world, but I would say getting on the phone with the person is step one. And I will tell you guys, I almost got scammed a couple of weeks ago. I don't know how, but they're using AI voices now, and it sounds like a real person. And it was like it was like someone from the inner city, like talking to me, like it was crazy. And then I realized a day later, I thought it was a scammer. I called back and I was correct, but somehow they used the AI and they were literally having a full on dialogue with me. There was no accent. It sounded like I was talking to someone that grew up in, an American city.
So
That's scary.
I know that is scary. This whole thing's kind of scary when you think about it. And the same thing happens in the horse world.
Don't buy anything unless you see it first.
Yes.
Just go look at it.
Okay, so you can do that in the bird world. There's so few breeders. You're pretty much either going to a pet store paying double, or if you're dealing with the breeder, what I would suggest is ask them to provide you a video with your name in the video. So it would be like,
hey, fake that too, man. I've seen it happen.
I know, but that's what a lot of us do. We'll say, hey, like I have a lady named Kelly. Kelly, here's your bird. And then you call the person and have a conversation. But it's one of the steps that you could add into the buying process.
And what do I expect to pay for my first time parrot? You said $5?
Well, if you're doing any of the small ones that I just talked about, under $1,000, anywhere from $300 to, let's say, average price of $500.
Okay. And are the vet bills going to be cheaper than our horses' vet bills, which tend to be way more than we think they should be?
Yeah. So I'm giving you some inside baseball. So this is good information for someone that has birds. There's a company called Animal Genetics, and you could send out your own lab work if you want to. So we do our own lab work at Parrot Baby. So we'll send out when you clip a bird's nails. Sometimes you could get just a little bit of blood. You use that blood on these test strips. You test the birds for like beak and feather, polyoma. There's a couple of diseases that we test for. And then we provide that with the DNA test to the buyer. And then if the person wants ever follow up, they could do that test. It's under $100. If you go through a vet, I don't know what they charge. It could be very pricey. But if you have a healthy bird and is not exposed to any other birds, you really don't have to go to a vet. The birds very rarely get sick.
Is it hard to find vets that will do birds?
To find an avian vet, that is the biggest controversy now in the bird world, because USDA just got into the game and they require, like, I have to have my own avian vet. Luckily in Florida, we have that, but in other states, people just don't have specialized vets that they could find. They're very hard to come by.
Huh. Yeah, we're having
that. It
just
seems to me like if you're going to buy something that's going to be with you and you're going to have to bequeath it to your family when, you die, it seems like you might want to go meet that thing first. Like, I'm going to buy a plane ticket. Like, that seems to be like the smallest investment of my day is going to be, I'm going to get a plane ticket and go see Chris and meet the birds. And because it's going to live with me for 85 years,
I had a lady, I talked to her on a Thursday night. She decided to buy the bird on a Friday, got in her car and drove down from Connecticut to Tampa, Florida. Picked up her bird on Sunday, and then I guess her mom lived in the area, slept for a night, and then drove back up.
That was a loud 1,000-mile trip.
Oh my God.
Now babies aren't that bad, actually when they're hungry, they'll scream like, but babies aren't bad. Yeah, but listen, parrots, it's kind of like horses. It's a passion. Those of us that have parrots love it. I'll tell you what inflames us when people call us and they're like, I want a bird that talks. There's nothing wrong with that, but if that's the only reason you're buying a bird, you shouldn't be buying a bird. You know what I mean?
How many times have you had, because this was I lived in Arizona and there was a place called World Wildlife Zoo, and they had a massive amount of large avian species, okay, from like every kind. But there was one row of birds that had been donated to the zoo, and you could not walk down that aisle with children because they heard things that children should not hear. So do you have a problem? Is that like a thing where like people teach the birds cuss words and then they're like, is this like a thing?
The people do that. Usually people don't, those make it into sanctuaries and rescues because a lot of people, like you said, don't want that in their homes around their kids. some people think
It's cool when you're single, then you get married.
Yes.
And yeah.
That's usually where they come from. Some single person thought it was funny to teach it that. I haven't encountered, you see that here and there, but you don't see that in general, because most people, it's in their homes with their families. You don't, I will tell you, I went to someone's house and they had some African grays, and I said to him, "Who's talking to us?" And he's like, "What?" I go, "Someone else is having conversation." This bird was having a full-on conversation, but I want to be very clear. It was talking as two people to itself. I've never seen that before.
Oh my gosh.
It wasn't like it was talking to us. It was literally having a conversation with itself, listening to two people. And it was accurate. Like it literally sounded like two people having a full-on like debate with each other, but it was one bird doing it. It was incredible.
What does, owning parrots, what does it do for you?
I don't know. They're just majestic. I just love birds in general. And for me, there's no other pet. We have other pets, don't get me wrong. We got like barn kittens and we have chickens and stuff like that. But for me, the bond I have with my birds is just special. I just really love them. They love me back in their own ways. We have Emmy, the yellow nape. I've had her since 1996. She's 30 years young, or almost about to be 30. And she's super healthy and she hangs out with me. Yesterday, she came down off her cage and sat on the back of my chair while I was doing a live stream. And she rarely does that because she's older, but she's just a really cool bird. I just love my birds and they love me. So I don't know, something about them. They're just so special.
I'm looking at your website. It is parrotbaby.com. Jamie, go there and then go to Our Birds. And it's where they have the list of the birds for sale. Oh my God, there's some pretty birds. Of course, everybody thinks of the harlequin macaw, right? Because they're the epitome of pretty, what looks like what you would think of a jungle bird, right?
Yeah, they think of the macaws. Yeah, you see that? That's a mix. That's a hybrid, by the way. So that's two different kinds of macaw breeds come together. So they're really
That is a freaking cool looking bird.
My favorite one at the zoo is the hyacinth macaw, which I thought was just the hugest, most giant, most majestic bird. And I do get it. Like my grandmother had cockatiels growing up and always had a bird in the house. And so I will say that the parakeet adventure that we took did not work out super well because both partners have to be on board with having a bird in the house. That is what I will tell you.
Yes, I will say I do often talk to people that want a bird and then they call me a day or two later and they're like, "I talked to my partner and I'm so sorry, I can't buy the bird anymore." So definitely talk to your significant other before you make that decision, because that's a household decision for sure.
Okay, on this page of your birds for sale, the one I think is the coolest is female Eclectus. Oh my God, that's a cool looking red bird.
Wow.
I'll tell you a cool story about the Eclectus if you want to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Eclectus come from Indonesia. So their feathers look like shimmering hair. Even though they're feathers, if you look closely, they look like shimmering hair. And the male Eclectus, the Eclectus are sexually dimorphic, meaning they're different colors. The male is pure like green with a candy corn beak with some red on the flanks. And the female is red with like blue purple on the belly. They're just amazing. Well, I don't know, when the early explorers or whatever were researching birds, they found them. They threw all the green ones in one flight. They threw all the red ones in one flight. And they're like, there's nothing we can do to make these things breed. They just don't breed. And what they didn't realize is usually, like, if you think of a cardinal, it's bright red, not so bright red, male, female. The Eclectus, they're not even in the same wheelhouse of colors. The male is pure green, and for parrots, it's one of the only completely sexually dimorphic parrots where the two are so different. You can't.
Oh, so they didn't even realize they were the same kind of bird.
Correct, because I mean, if you look at them, you're like, how is that even possible? You know, that the male is green and the female is pure red. I mean, they're beautiful.
Yeah, that is a cool looking bird. And you're right, it looks like hair, not feathers at all.
Like, why won't they have babies? Because they're all girls. Okay.
Yeah, all the boys are with each other and all that. They're polyamorous too, so you could breed them in colony situations, and they do much better at night. You figure out which male is pollinating the females.
Was that? Well, that's a good question. Are birds? Do they mate for life? These birds, or do they care? They just sleep with anybody.
So the eclectus are one of the only polyamorous. Most of them pair up. I wouldn't say for life. I mean, there is divorce in the bird world. They'll repair up. Like African greys, they will sometimes switch up their mates. But by and large, when birds pair, they pair. I will tell you some fun facts. You mentioned the hyacinth macaw. That's the largest parrot. They're beautiful. I mean, their beak is so big they could snap a broomstick with their beak. They're really powerful birds. We had 2 presidents that I know of, and we might have more, but the ones that come to mind. Teddy Roosevelt, his daughter, one of his kids I think his son Kermit had a hyacinth macaw. And then Andrew Jackson, he had a African gray as a pet, and it cursed so much it had to be removed from his funeral. So that's one for you guys. Talk about curse, because Andrew Jackson had a very colorful vocabulary. And he loved this bird. They brought it to his funeral, but it was creating such a stir they had to remove him from the funeral.
Oh my God.
Well, Chris, this has been absolutely fascinating. You can find Chris's website at parrotbaby.com. I think I'm going to love this series. It's so fun to learn about other animals, too.
Yeah, we're on Facebook. If you want to learn, I put a lot of educational videos on Facebook, and we do have a YouTube. Parrot Baby 777, because Parrot Baby was taken 100 Ways from Sunday. But off our Facebook, you could find a lot of our socials. I appreciate you letting me talk about my birds, because I don't often talk about my birds to my fellow brethren here in the podcasting space. So
well, we hear them in the background. What do we hear in the background?
Those are baby caiques, and they let you know when they're hungry, as you could hear them.
Yeah, it's time to feed, Chris.
We're the loudest. That's the thing. You hear that? Do you know how far away those two? That's just 2 babies, and when they get hungry, poor Katie kills me because while she's recording, she's like, "Shut those birds up!" And I got feed them.
Katie, there's a joke around the podcasting world. Katie has one of the most successful podcast networks out there. But the joke always was that she had to hide in the master closet to do her shows. Is she still hiding in the closet, or do you have her?
Yeah. She hasn't changed. She loves recording in the closet. And now she kind of has to, because you could hear the bird like that. That's in a whole different room, and you could hear the birds. I just fed them too, so they're just squawking. So it's just part of their childhood, I guess.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
As horse owners, we have an unlimited supply of love for our animals, but we tend to underestimate the cost of their care. Routine and unexpected expenses can quickly add up, making it hard to keep pace. Wouldn't it feel great to always be prepared with a budget-friendly way to manage these costs? The Care Credit Health and Animal Care Credit Card can give you that financial peace of mind. With flexible financing from Care Credit, you can get the care your horse needs and then pay it off over time in easy monthly payments. You can use Care Credit at the more than 25,000 veterinary hospitals that accept the cards, and use it to pay for everything from diagnostics to surgery to wellness exams and routine care. Care Credit, it's your card for a lifetime of care. Subject to credit approval. To learn more and apply, visit carecredit.com/vetmed.
He says one thing and he means another, but hey, he can't help it. He's a horse trader. Horse trading. Well, it's a laissez-faire. Let the buyer beware. Horse trading. They tell a low-down lie with a sincere stare. Horse trading. Well, if they're talking in circles and the deal ain't square, he's a master in the fine art of persuading. Horse trading.
That's right. It's that time of the week when we do really bad ads. Listeners submit ads from Craigslist or Facebook, and we just have a little bit of fun with them. We give away prizes every month to those that do submit, and we're going to be picking the prize winners the end of next week. So get one more week to get your ads in. The following prizes are provided by horselovers.com, home to 120,000 products for your barn, horse, and you. Check them out at horselovers.com. And our first prize we have is a Shire's nylon halter with a leather head strap, your choice of size and color. What else we have, Jamie?
Well, this is something that I would like to put in for because I've been doing a bunch of carrot stretches, like trying to stretch out this one horse post surgery, and he doesn't like carrots. So I just bought a bag of stud muffins.
But he likes those.
Oh my God, I can get all of them. And it's so weird to be given hand treats like as I'm like, there, don't bite me. But yeah, he loves them so much that he's like, he's doing all the stretches.
I have not found a horse that doesn't like stud muffins.
Yeah, it's crazy. easy. And the cool thing is they're kind of gummy, so I can break them up into littler pieces to make them really stretch. But 2 winners are going to each get 3 45-ounce bags of stud muffins, including original stud muffin slims, and stud muffin peppermint. And that's a $72 value.
That's
yes, these are not cheap.
That's
this
a
is
lot of stud
cookies.
muffins.
Yeah.
And we also have 5 books, The Honest to Goodness Truth About Horse Trailers by Brad Heath. And this is the definitive book about horse trailers, buying, maintaining, and all of that stuff. Brad is a friend of mine, and he has 30 years hand-on experience with designing, hauling, and fixing trailers. So we're going to be sending those out to 5 winners. So we have 8 total winners this month. All right. We're not going to have time to get to everybody today. Patty, Faye, Marie, Aaron, Cassidy, and Angie, thank you for submitting. We just aren't going to have time to get to all of them, but you're included in the
for
drawing.
The prizes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lorene helped us out today. She's back.
Good morning,
in the
it's
truck.
Lorene Barden, and I'm going to read a really bad ad. And this is a Craigslist ad for a paint filly, black and white, around 15 years old. $1,200. So everything's in all caps and there's no punctuation.
Yay.
Black and white paint filly, around 14 years old, a pet, never breed or broke, gentle, just a big baby. She needs more attention than I can give her. She is beautiful, not sure how many hands tall she is, but she is a big, tall girl. I am asking for a rehoming fee of $1,200. To a good home, she would make a great gift for your loved one.
All right.
Call or text me.
But a 14-year-old isn't a filly anymore.
But not only that, she's not broke. How is that good for your loved one? And $1,200.
A pet.
She's a pet.
A lawn ornament.
And $1,200 isn't a rehoming fee. It's for sale. Okay. That's it. Have a great weekend. Bye.
You guys, you can't fight about it because it doesn't make any sense. And all of the
That's her
things
daughter,
that y'all
by the
just
way.
said, I know, yeah. All the things that they just had, their conversation was exactly the thing I thought. Like, first of all, that's not a good pet. That's not a rehoming fee. That's not a good gift for somebody. And it's not still a filly.
Thank you, guys.
There's no excuse for it.
I'm glad to see you guys are still in the truck together after all these years.
Still driving around. Isabel sent this one in, and this is from Minnesota Horses Facebook page. Oh, Glenn, why'd you give me this one?
Because I didn't want to do it.
Okay. I'm going to try my best. Hate that by the way, nothing's capitalized and there's many misspellings. And so I'll try to communicate those as best as I can. Ugh. Hate that I'm doing this, but BUTTTT ... 2012 reg mare looking for a new house emoji before she's glue ...
That's why I gave this one to you.
I D&T have her papers, never got them with her. I've had her for about 9 years ... She's a B word to catch, super buddy sour, and is horrible with new horses ... She will kick, buck, and bite ... She's branded, came from Open Spear Ranch. She's slower than a turtle when you ride her. Once on, she does great. She hates to trot and will throw a buck.
So she really doesn't do great when you ride her. It's like...
I have millions of pics and videos of her ... Good beer drinking horse, if that's what the letter you are looking for, will bring ya home from the bar even. Rides double too. No, she doesn't. She'll book you.
I think the guy was drinking beer when he wrote this.
Yeah. We ride to town all the time. She's got to go though. THO ... She's great on trails, traffic safe, water, etc. She needs someone who will ride her 24/7. She's fat and lazy ... Sweet once the letter U, catch her ... She looks at hay and gains 100 lbs, super easy keeper. She's one of my go-to horses for when PPL come to ride ... but I'm done chasing her every time. So you must hate the people that come over.
Yeah, I guess. Well, as long as you don't try it, you're fine, Jamie.
She's so good. You can put all the kids on her. She's fine.
This poor horse, probably the saddle doesn't fit, and that's why she throws a buck.
Oh, without a doubt.
And they
Without
try-
a doubt. I mean, again,
No soul,
this
no
was
soul, no
Minnesota.
soul.
I couldn't do a Minnesota accent because I couldn't keep up with all the things that
Oh, no.
I'm looking at and trying to communicate.
No, this person definitely had been having some beer when they wrote the ad. How are they going to get their beer at the bar if they don't have this horse to ride? They have to walk.
My brain hurts.
Janelle sent the next one in. This won't take me long. Janelle sent the next one in. It looks like a Facebook ad. It's rehome $1,200 and a picture of a white grayish horse that has not been brushed in 10 years. And that's it. That's the whole ad.
fed.
Yeah, there's nothing else in the ad. No age, no nothing. Just white or just rehome $1,200. Again,
That is-
rehoming.
That is one that if it was listed on Craigslist in Oklahoma, I would go see it.
it. Wait, is rehoming the new catch? Is it a thing now? We're going to say rehome instead of sell? Or is that
I don't know.
doesn't get caught by Facebook maybe?
I don't know. Alicia sent the next one in.
Another short one.
Another short one. Oh God. Mare Philly quarter horse splash gunner. $17,000.
Oh my God.
Sound insane. That's all it says. And it's a picture of like a baby horse with a bald face
Okay,
paint.
I'm going to make a controversial statement. You can send your hate mail to jennifer@horseradionetwork.com. It's just a preference thing. What's it called when they have the white face and everything else is like
It's got a bald face.
I would never own a horse like that. I just can't do it. For some reason, I just find them ugly. I'm sorry.
Horses like this with this face marking need to live indoors because they get cancer around their eyeballs so easy and sunburn. And I mean, the whole horse is just sunburned. It's just sunburned.
I know there's people that love them, and I'm sorry, I'm just not one. Everybody has their own taste. I get it, but
I don't mind it.
$17,000, and we didn't even put any description at all in, other than it sounds
They
insane.
gave a description of all. This is all one word, by the way. Mare Philly quarter horse splash gunner. I don't know what any of that means. Read the next one.
Maybe we're not supposed to. Katie sent this one in. This is Wisconsin Equine Facebook page. I need this POS sold. Open to offers. For scrap only. Not horse safe. Again,
Okay.
it's not
I
for...
was hoping it wasn't a horse.
No, it's a trailer of the week. Again, it's not safe for hauling horses. Matter of fact, it's not safe for hauling anything. Well, at least they're honest this time. Those beautiful tires you see are purely ornamental. Attached to the most sketch frame this side of Temu. However, it does have plenty of potential as a stationary critter shelter, tool shed, or redneck yard ornament. The problem is, this looks better than 95% of the bad horse trailers we have. It looks wonderful. There's a roof on it. There's no rust that I can see. The tires have air. I don't get it. This is golden.
It looks really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's old and terrible, but like compared to the ones we've seen.
Yeah, this dude doesn't have... Hey, dude, you could have sold this for $3,000.
Sight unseen. Some idiot will come get it.
This,
See?
this is the one
about.
guy that advertises on Craigslist that actually has a conscience right here.
That's the one. Olivia sent the next one in, and
Oh my
God.
Do you see what's at their legs?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Let me paint a picture. The title of the ad is Red Dun Mare for Trade and Cash. Oh, this is Oklahoma. I'm so proud. And actually, this is just right down the street in Pink, Oklahoma. So it is a picture of two horses, bareback, standing next to each other. And standing on top of the horses is two girls that probably, they look like teenagers. And under their feet, sitting on the ponies that are bareback, are babies.
Like babies, like maybe one.
Oh, my God. So
They're
it's
standing
babies
up on the
having
horses,
babies
and the
on
babies are on their... what could go wrong? What could possibly go
What
wrong?
could possibly go wrong? So yeah, it's two girls standing on top of, like, almost in a Roman riding side by side. And they're standing on it, and their kids are in between their knees, and they're babies. So here's the ad. I mean, let's see if it references the picture at all. Twister is the only reason I'm selling these mares because she's being mean to my Cinnamon. She kicks my horse and keeps doing it. I don't know why, and I don't care. But this mare is my baby, and everyone knows that. However, I can't have her doing that. So I've got to pick, and Twister has to go. She's for sale, cash, maybe trade, and cash.
I am so confused. I'm so confused. So Twister, I assume, is one of the two horses, but she doesn't clarify which one. If Twister is that bad, why are we putting our baby on the back?
Right? Why are they standing next? Why is Twister standing so close to Cinnamon with a baby on its back with your dumbass standing on top of its back?
Welcome to Oklahoma. They'll be loose in front of your house next.
This is literally 10 minutes from me.
Look for him out in the road sometime soon.
Oh, I think this is the pony I caught. I think I caught Twister.
Ashley sent this one in. Lockhart Horses and Tack Facebook page. Facebook page for everything. Horse tack sale! Exclamation points on both sides. In Cedar Creek, Texas. Great, GRATE. Prices, 2 saddles, a bunch of brittle, some girths too. I will set up at the front gate 1 trail saddle and 1 barrel saddle selling horse boots 2 bits. Come with the bridle starting at around 12, 130. Please come. My number is...
Okay, I'm trying to see all the different ways that they spelled bridle. There's 3 different bridal spellings.
Most of them involve a wedding dress. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I really don't know what they're selling or where they're located, but you can get it. Just go by the gate. It's out by the gate.
Oh, man. Okay, well, the next one was sent in by Julia, and this is from the Arkansas Ponies and Horses Facebook page. This one's actually fairly long. Meet Skunk. A 10-year-old Appaloosa John mule with enough sass to power a small tractor. He's got spots, opinions, and a mean left hook. Hard to catch? Absolutely. Built-in cardio. I was told if you try to push him when he's sold up, what does that mean?
I don't know. SULLED.
When he's sold up to the right, and he'll show you what NASCAR dreams are made of. He has been ridden. I've got the video proof, just maybe not by anyone who values their peace of mind, or maybe when you get on his back, he's an angel. I don't want to find out. Okay.
It means refusing to go.
Okay. Is that something they say in Arkansas and Arkansas?
It doesn't say where that comes from. It's just in the dictionary is refusing to go.
Well, thank you for Googling it. Great project mule if your therapist needs more job security. No tire kickers. He'll do that himself. Miraculously, 100% sound.
Oh, those kind never get lame. They never come up lame.
Die.
40 years they'll live and never be lame.
Has a current Coggins, maybe 13 hands, but I'm not sticking him. He's in Dodge Ridge, Arkansas. Shipping available. I'll be going through Oklahoma, Texas this weekend, and will bring him with me for free.
Oh, there you go. You can try a mule. You've never done one of those.
Now, to be fair, he's about the cutest thing I've ever seen.
It's kind of cute. Apparently a little bit of an attitude, though.
Oh, my God. He's a little rony,
he's
spotty
sold up.
Appaloosa mule. Oh.
He's sold up. Paige sent this one in. This mare ticks all the boxes. There's a lot of bullet points on this one. Gorgeous bay roan that looks great in any lighting.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know. I thought it said lightning at first.
This is definitely a Gen X or Gen Z person who posted this.
We'll take selfies all day long. Amazing, dramatic, slow motion run and buck. Perfect for reels. 5 different Whinnies, 1 for every one of your BFF's custom notification sounds. Oh, this is such... Pause her way through gates so you'll have the opportunity to meet hunky first responders when they find her wandering down CR 37. Accident prone, maybe this is the horse you caught. Accident prone, see above, so you can post pictures with your friends' feeds and gross them out. Super green, so you'll have many years of training fails for your new YouTube channel.
Oh my God, she's perfect. If it said she was blind, I'd be like, yep, this is the one I caught.
It's the same one.
Okay, the final one I found on Craigslist, and it was super easy because I opened up Craigslist and I clicked on farm and garden and I typed in the word horse, and this was the first one, and I didn't have to click any further, okay? Because this is an Oklahoma Craigslist quarter horse for sale. I want you to, you know what? We'll break it down as we go. AQHA registered 2-yo red roan filly 2000. Oh God, there's no punctuation. I did it to myself. This is an extra nice filly out of one of my best mares, as good of horse. Oh wait, as you will find anywhere. She had a small navel hernia when she was young, but has about gone away. If it weren't for that, she would not be for sale. What?
I'm confused.
If it weren't for that, she would not
A lot
be
of double
for
negatives in this one.
Okay, now this is the part that got me. I didn't even read that part. I didn't even see that they're selling the horse because it maybe used to have a hernia. This is the reason I clicked on this ad. If it weren't for that, she would not be for sale. Her sire, Yellow Shot, has in his bloodlines Freckles Playboy twice, Doc Olena twice, Gay Bar King 3 other times, 3 bars 1 other times, and Little Joe 4 other times.
How many were involved in the making of this baby?
This is not inbreeding. This is incest. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I'm
So
gonna keep
confused.
going. Okay, be ready. I mean, because you guys know how I love quarter horse names. Like, if I get this little quarter horse, I'm gonna name him the most ridiculous quarter horse name I've ever heard of. We're gonna take name submissions. It's gonna be great. Because let me just keep going, okay? Because that was only the dad side. Now we're gonna address the mom side.
Okay.
Her dam has in her bloodlines. Her dam has in her bloodlines Doc Olena 4 times, Doc's prescription twice.
I like that one.
Doc Bar 2 other times, the old man 3 bar 2 other times, King 3 other times, Hollywood Gold twice, Double Devil twice, and Chickasha Mike. You will drive. For those keeping up, the dad and the mom have the same
Lineage.
bloodlines in there more than once.
Isn't that a bad thing?
Well, here's the thing, Glenn. You will drive the wheels off your truck trying to find these bloodlines at these low prices. I have several more like her for sale, all ages, sizes, colors, and prices, plenty to pick from. Don't ask for more pictures. I'm not good at photography and don't have time to learn it.
First of all, there's a red flag right there.
If I send, oh God, here comes, it's Oklahoma math here, baby. If I send 4 or 5 pictures to 20 different people of 20 different horses, that would be 1,600 to 2,000 pictures. And I have to drive 20 miles each time for my phone to send them, adds up to 200 to 600 miles, possibly more. I just don't have time to do that. And if I did, I would have to go up on the price of my horses to cover the expense. If pictures are important to you, you're welcome to drive out here and take all the damn pictures you want. If you don't like the way I do things, then buy your horses somewhere else. What did I just read?
Welcome to Oklahoma.
I mean, to be fair, you could just send the same 4 or 5
pictures. Dealer. And they want to, and he also wants, he wants a deposit before he's going to drive out there and show you the horses too. So,
why does he have to drive to the end of his driveway to send pictures because he has no Wi-Fi? Like, what's up?
I don't know. Starlink, it's a wonderful thing. Works anywhere.
So just so you know, I did, if I send 4 or 5 pictures, so to 20 different people of 20 different horses, 20 times 20 is 400. Yeah. They said it would be 1,600 to 2,000 pictures driving 20 miles each time, which then adds up to 200 to 600 miles. What? What is
it's Oklahoma math? You said it. It's Oklahoma math.
It's Oklahoma math. And why is this horse so inbred? Like, what? What? That's not something to celebrate, okay? This horse... And the names. Oh my God, the names. Can I just please have a horse named Freckles, Playboy, Doc Bar, Gay King? Like, I just
how many words are you allowed? It seems to be 3.
I don't know, but y'all, I'm going to come up. If I get this little quarter horse I'm adopting and he turns out to be a quarter horse, you bet your ass I'm going to come up with the best, most ridiculous quarter
25
horse
names. Cover it all.
Come here, Noodle Dog Bar, happy-go-lucky, special prescription, Olena, Freckles.
It's for baby won't know what the answer to.
Oh my God. Don't drop the wheels off your truck. They get them all.
Yeah.
All of them are right here in one horse.
I think we only had one AI today, which is pretty good because last week they were all AI. So, yeah, I'm glad to see that today Oklahoma people don't know how to use AI. So that was sorry for everybody who lives in Oklahoma. You can write to Jennifer
resemble
at
that
Horse
remark.
Radio.
It's totally fine.
Well, your husband grew up there, so there's exceptions to every rule.
Exactly.
If you want to send your ads in, send them to Jennifer at horseradionetwork.com. You have a week to get the ads in before we give away the prizes again next Friday. I have a happy story to give you to end the week.
Good,
and then,
because does happy story include, because I want to go back to the beginning of the podcast and just say at least the Horse Radio Network should bequeath some sort of award on me. I'm just throwing that out.
You know
there.
what?
I'll just be waiting
I would
for
love
it.
to hear opinions. Remember years ago when we first started this, we did an award show at the end of the year. It was the beginning of the year for the previous year. But we had weird categories. It
was on Valentine's Day. We did an award show and it was called the Hottest Horseman Awards.
That's
and
right.
We had again, this is the first time I ever talked to Monty Roberts. I had to give him the Hottest Horse Dad Award. Yeah,
that's right. Was that the first time you ever talked to him?
First time I ever spoke to him, and I get reminded of that every time I go.
Do you really?
Oh yeah,
I forgot all about that.
We had Hottest Farrier. Helena and I hosted it.
Dad,
Hottest Farrier, Hottest Vet, Hottest Horse Dad, and then we ended up doing the hottest couple, and the couple was guy who handled Zenyatta and Charles, her handler at the time, which is like
we got a couple of them actually to agree to come on the show too.
Yeah, Charles and I actually became friends.
Oh my God, we have to do this again. I think we have to do it next year. We have to bring that back. It's time.
Valentine's Day next year. Okay,
I think
put
we
it
have
on the
to.
calendar.
Let us know what you think, everybody. Let us know what you think of that idea. Should we bring it back? And then we can have the auditors vote on the winners. That'd be perfect.
That's how we did it. Well, we had submissions. So what happened is the farrier that got sent in the most got the awards. So because I was like, let's just objectify the hell out of men. Like, it's time. It's our turn.
I think we need to add women to this list this year, though, too. And then we'll be very politically incorrect at that point.
No, I want to objectify men. That's all I want to do.
I'm not allowed to objectify women, so that's about all we're left with at this point. Nash Keene was born on July 5th, 2024 in Iowa City, 21 weeks into the pregnancy, 133 days earlier than the expected due date, weighing only 10 ounces less than a bar of soap. He has the Guinness World Book of Records for the most premature baby ever to survive. He just had his first birthday, and he's doing good. That's the good news story here. The first 6 months of his life he spent in NICU at the University of Iowa Healthcare Center, which apparently they did a really good job because he's home now. He's thriving. He's giggling. His personality. He has all the developmental milestones. And apparently
it said he weighed 10 ounces, less than a bar of soap. 10 ounces. I mean...
That's right. And he's still alive, apparently doing well. He still has a feeding tube and hearing aids, but there's hope that they can get, through some surgeries and other stuff, they can get him off of that. And
bless him.
They're apparently, the parents are thrilled that he's still around, and he's apparently in there fighting and doing the things baby do.
Could you imagine, like, when he's like an adult, they're gonna be like, well, yeah, I mean, I am a Guinness Book of World Records.
Wouldn't it be ironic if he was like 6'8" and weighed 400 pounds?
NBA.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be ironic. Good job, Nash. There's your happy story.
You got it, buddy. Keep fighting.
Auditors, hang on. We're going to chat for a little bit in the post show. See y'all.